welcome to yet another edition of the Warrior SuperCast, the podcast for the Warrior District and the superstars within it. I am Jason Grisgoric, your host, and I am joined by two superstars of the district, former graduates of Winton Woods High School. I've got Simone Assem and Jesus Gallant here to discuss New Tech Learning and what it did for them.
Yep.
Glad that you could join us both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem. It's always my favorite to bring former students onto the show because you get a different feel from what the staff is saying in regards to how they're teaching, but obviously the fruits of the labor is obviously what has been given to you. Simone, obviously you're both 2016 graduates. You are experiencing the wonderful years of college. Where are you attending?
I'm attending The Ohio State University.
With a major in?
City and Regional Planning and minoring in GIS, Geographical Informational Systems.
Well, what made you decide that? I was going to wait and get Jesus' information, but I'm sorry, but you give me something like that, and we need to know, because that sounds like something that New Tech prepared you for, or was something that definitely was on the forefront of your mind, because it's not engineering, that's not social science or political science. Was your time with New Tech, or at the time AGS, something that propelled you to go into this major?
Yeah, my time through the New Tech Network Academy, it definitely did propel me towards this major, because at first I came into the university through like the exploration, which is you really don't know exactly what you want to major in, and at first I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go into engineering because my parents were like, hardcore engineer, we want you to be an engineer, but I kind of knew that's not where my heart really was. So after some time in that exploration college, I was thinking a lot about what did I do in high school, and what did I do, and before that and everything. And I'm just like, let me try to use the skills that I was given throughout high school, to benefit myself in the future. And then so I was looking for different majors to go into, and I was looking into city and regional planning, and it deals a lot with communication and having to just orchestrate yourself in a way to just be able to deal with other people and just make a big impact on the world around you, and I knew it was perfect for me.
That's a great way to sum a lot of that up. Jesus, again, 2016 graduate, where are you attending currently, and what is your major?
I'm at the University of Cincinnati. I started there with a major in aerospace engineering, but like Simone said, I figured out engineering really wasn't my thing, but I stayed kind of close. I've switched over to astrophysics. Okay. Really enjoy myself there now.
Wow. Again, it sounds like you're spending time, like you're in prison or something. You're not. Your time in AGS, but no, your years in high school with the AGS program or New Tech, was that, again, you went in with an idea. Was it your high school learning and your background with the AGS New Tech idea that helped you change your mind?
Yeah, well, I'm sure any college student will tell you that high school helped them a lot, but AGS or New Tech, how it is now, really helped me out. And you wouldn't think that in the engineering field or any STEM-related field it would, because that's a lot of individual intelligence and thinking. But for example, in my chem lab, we had a project due at the end of the semester. My 3 teammates they went to private schools, but they didn't really know how to work with technology in groups. So I kind of had to rally the group together and be its leader to get the job done. I told them about Google Docs, and their mind was blown. And I've known it for a couple years now.
That's interesting, because that is something that's almost common vernacular for most people, especially in a tech field or anything. So it surprises me that certain individuals are kind of slow to that learning curve.
Yeah, and it was surprising to me that in college they're introducing that stuff. They're not just mentioning it like kids already know this. They're introducing it. The professors are like, oh, look at this. But I was like, you're like 5 years behind. So it certainly did help. And it also helped my leadership. Like I said, I had to rally my group together. There was countless other projects.
Your smile does bring a point. It's that sense of pride. I've known this for X amount of years. Exactly. I've used this before. Do you find that in the colleges that you're at now, obviously, Jesus, you're mentioning you're stepping up as a leader right away. Are you finding that your formative years to your new formative years are far more surpassed to your peers? you're able to, like Jesus, you said, jumping into that leadership role without a problem, without hesitation, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Are you finding that in the same way?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like piggybacking off of what Jesus said. I mean, in my major also, we have projects that are worth like over maybe 50% of our grade, and I was in a team of maybe 13 people, and that's my project group. And we have a big presentation to do. And when you're in a group of 13 people, a lot of people are maybe a little timid, and they're hesitant to give their feedback and for someone to step charge. And I mean, I say the same thing that Jesus said. I mean, yet someone has to take leadership, and most of the time that was me because of the preparation that we've been trained all throughout high school years and even previous years. So it's just like a lot of that really came in and really like got us moving. And I did see the difference with comparing myself to my peers because a lot of them were just pretty timid. Like Jesus hinted on, a lot of students maybe going to private schools, not getting that exposure from people of different backgrounds but different ethnicities, and it's really hard to get out of your comfort zone and approach someone. Hey, we're project partners.
Sure.
Let's get on track. Let's do this. So it definitely helped with leadership.
Using the word partners obviously can lead to friendships. At least we hope that does. Obviously, and communication is that key. Do you find that what you've learned in your high school years have now helped you socially as well? I mean, we could talk about the academics all along, but obviously the social aspect is key as well.
Yeah, I was just about to touch on that. My leadership came a lot partially through when I was a little kid. I was a little nerd, and I was always on computers and stuff.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. So that kind of gave me some confidence. Starting really in high school, learning computers really well, and then going to university. But what you mentioned, AGS really helped me get out of my shell. We had to do a lot of presentations. In front of the class, sometimes in front of multiple classes, in front of the school. So I'm good at public speaking now because of it. Like right now, I'd be stuttering all the way around because I mean, if I wouldn't have had AJS or now New Tech, then I wouldn't be as confident as I am now. So, and meeting people in college is a big experience of college. It's not only important academically, but when you make friends that you like to hang around in college, I think that's important to staying on track. You can make friends in your major that can help you out. You can help them out. So that aspect really helped me out.
Sure.
Yeah, adding on to like that whole social aspect. I mean, when you go to college, you're exposed, to people from all over the world. It's for some people it's very scary because they were in this small, their little own world, didn't really think much of, who else existed, out there.
That's true.
But when they hit college, they get exposed to all of it, and some people, they're very, very shocked, and it's very hard for them to, start, get rolling. But, for us being exposed to New Tech, I mean, I know we had foreign exchange students. We had students from China, from Germany, so we were able to, just like get out of our comfort zones in an earlier stage and just be able to like go up to them and say, hey, my name's Simone, like, what do you like to do and things like that. So it just really, really helped when you get into college because it's like, I know how to communicate with these people. We are people. You're not an alien from another planet. I'm very comfortable talking to you. So.
Yeah.
You are listening to the Warrior SuperCast here on Waycross Community Media. I'm joined with Simone and Jesus discussing their experiences as a 2016 graduate of the Winton Woods High School here in the district. Yeah, go Warriors. There you go. We're talking a lot of group-based projects, and we're seeing a lot of that reflected in both of your majors. Obviously, there's going to be times in which you're going to be doing a lot of solo work. Do you find that to be more of the disconnect and maybe a little bit more difficult for you, considering and a lot of the AGS program in New Tech is project-based? Do you find, or has it been an easy balance to be able to say, I can do this?
I mean, see, for me personally, like when it came to the solo work aspect, I was able to say, I can do this because the solo work was a lot of, through New Tech, you were given all these tools, all these different technologies and ways to use them. So when you can sit down as an individual and actually like bring them all together, it's a lot easier, in my opinion, because sometimes you you have a you have a goal and you have a way of getting there. And sometimes when you are in a group, you have a lot of different other influences coming in, and it can be very hectic at times.
Sure.
So I figured that, you know, for me, when I was given those individual opportunities, I was able. Everything just made sense. Everything was able to come together. I knew my group members, their strengths and weaknesses, so I was able to, you know, compile them together and, you know, formulate, you know, the best opportunity, the best route for our group to go together. So I guess it's more the individual planning aspect of that.
No, that's fair. And Jesus, would you say the same thing?
Yeah, on the individual assignments, I felt that, like you said, it was a fair balance. After doing so much group work through high school, getting to college and doing a lot more individual stuff was really good for me, not only because I myself am like a more solo person, but because talking about that leadership role, I like to take my own initiative, take things down my own path. So, man, I could show you coding that I did. You'll scroll down for a couple of minutes, and if I could show you, you'd be surprised. But the individual work I really liked. Yep.
Good. Obviously, you're just getting into your not into your field, but at least exploring what that field is going to bring. And if we were to come back here 5 years from now, and you're finally in the waters and getting out there, what would you say would be your one shining accomplishment or moment that you knew that New Tech helped you accomplish to where you are going?
That's a big one. We're starting off that one.
See, I'm asking the big ones now.
Starting off that one.
The one really big one. I don't.
You can't say you don't know because you do know.
Yeah.
We all know.
Well, one really cool one that I liked was we were in physics in Coach C's class, and we were doing basic kinematic equations. And so he said, we're not going to do like a presentation, and you're just going to show the class, and we're going to have five different presentations, but they all have the same thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a catapult. We're going to get wood, we're going to get nails, we're going to build it ourselves together. When I got really hands-on with that, I'm a really hands-on person. I like to see how stuff works, how stuff comes together. And when I did that project, it was really cool, really cool to see my finished catapult shoot his little castle and his little soldiers. And depending on how many soldiers, we got our grade. But yeah, that was really fun. I think that's the project I like the most. It was my senior year. Yep. I think that's what really got the engineering spark in me. Yep.
Yeah, we're going to pressure you because
I
you were
know,
going
I
to
was
say you
pressuring
didn't
him.
know.
I say for me, I think your question was a lot of you know, in the future aspect. You know, what do you see yourself saying? Like, oh, you know, thankfully New Tech taught me this.
Yes.
And like kind of like what Jesus was hitting on too about, you know, just the high school experience. You know, what project really like drove him to, you know, have that motivation. I feel like with me personally, it's a lot of the connections and experiences I've gained with people. I can say definitely in the future I'll be able to look back and thank New Tech for that, because it's just the ability to communicate. For me, it's so powerful. Even in college, I'm slowly learning this, but you know, one day I was really thinking, you know, you'll never know who's around you if you don't, you know, stop to ask, or if you don't stop to wonder. I know I had a class with Hall of Famer NFL player Santonio Holmes, and it was a finance class. And you know, one day we were just having a conversation, and you know, I introduced myself to him, and you know, and everything. Now I've gone the whole semester with him in my class, and I never knew who he was, you know, till, you know, after that one conversation, you know, where I'm done, I'm just like, wait, that was him. So it's just like being able to really communicate with the people around you. I know that for me in the future, I plan on expanding my friend group very far, very broad, to all the different continents, you know. And I want to say, my goal is to say, I know a close contact in this continent. You know, I can call this person, you know, just helping to unite people a lot more. So I know when it comes to New Tech, I can thank them tremendously for that, because, I mean, in high school, this being able to break out of your shell, like Jesus said, that's one of the biggest steps, because if you can't do that, then the rest of your life is very hard. You feel very isolated and by yourself. But the minute you're able to do that, so many doors just open up in your life. So for me, communication is key.
You're almost answering my final question here because we are running out of time. But my question to you would be, if you, because we know the class of 2018 is listening, they better be. I've got you. 2018, you've obviously been through it. They're now going through it. What is the one piece of advice that you would give the graduating class of 2018 to hold on to be where you are today? So when I'm asking these tough questions to them, they could answer something unique and new.
We can go ahead first.
I would say, have a goal in mind, have a growth mindset, know where you want to go. Stay hungry in the sense of wanting to know more, explore more. Don't settle with, what you see around you. I mean, for me, it's just very, I try to think of myself as a very goal-driven person. I don't want to be comfortable, and, I want to push myself to be uncomfortable because that's when you learn, that's when you grow. So to the class of, 2018 that is experiencing this, and sometimes they might have setbacks like, oh, I don't know if I really want to do this anymore. Just know that the rest of the world out there isn't easy. It's not handed to you, and in order to grow, you have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Use the tools that New Tech is giving them because it's very helpful and it really does help you to communicate. So know what you want to do, and if you don't, search for it. You have a purpose in this world. I want to tell everyone that you have a purpose. Find that purpose. If you feel like you're not finding it, you're not fulfilling it, look around at your friends. Maybe you need to change your friend group, things like that. So it's just stay hungry. Want to have that drive, that motivation to learn something new, to figure out something, do something great with your life that you have. So
excellent. Jesus, now the burr's on you now.
Well, what I would say, it's kind of similar to what Simone said. It's okay if you don't know what you want to do now. You're going to figure out what you want to do. Me in college, like I said, I didn't know what I wanted to do. But now I do. Now I enjoy my field. And like Simone said, keep working hard. High school, no offense to any of my high school teachers, but it was kind of a breeze. I kind of sat through high school and passed with flying colors. But you got to really try hard in college. You got to put in the time. 3.8 in 1 year ain't gonna get itself in college like it did in high school. You got to work for it.
You really do.
Well, it definitely sounds that you are all. You feel it. I can sense it from you that you're on your right path, and that you've gained the confidence and the knowledge from your high school years, and you're going to take that and move you forward. And we are all thankful for that. Good luck, and hopefully we will cross paths again. We can discuss after graduation how this is all done.
Yeah.
And if you'll have us back.
Yeah.
We'll always have you back at the table. It's no problem.
Thank you so much.
Simone, Jesus, thank you for joining us and telling your
you.
story. I appreciate it. And of course, I want to thank all of you as well. This has been the Warrior SuperCast, the podcast for the Winton Woods School District, highlighting the superstars of the district. Have a great evening. We'll see you next time.
Are you ready for the new